You do not gain self-confidence and then do things. It's not how self-confidence works. And that also goes into control. It goes into not just fear of conflict and stuff, but it goes into a lot of, if I have confidence and I feel equipped to handle this, I'll do better. Sure. I mean, excellent. But guess what? You're not going to gain confidence and then do the things. And that's the thing that's stopping you. And you think, well, I'm not there yet, or I'm not ready yet. Yeah, you're never going to be ready. Okay. Time is never going to just sit there and just wait on you. Right? You can't build your skills if you're not in place to use the skills. I've used this example before. If I give you a hammer, a great hammer, big old hammer, gorgeous hammer. If I give you a hammer and it's the best hammer ever, and you just take that hammer and you set it on the wall and you're like, okay, I have this hammer. Oh my God, I love this hammer. I can use this hammer. And you're never put in a position to use that hammer. You're never going to have the confidence that it's okay to jack that hammer up a little bit or to scratch it up, because you know why? You're not there. You get behind the wheel of a car. Sometimes you ain't going to feel confident in that. And you're going to have to gain confidence by doing it more. Maybe you jump the curb. Okay, well, that doesn't make you a bad driver. It happens. Do it again. Face your fears. That's what gains confidence. Everybody's like, how do I start to develop self-confidence? Do the things that you don't want to do, and you do them frequently. You're not just going to do it once or twice, and then all of a sudden you gain all this confidence. That's not how that works. And so when you get in your head, how you know that it's time to start building confidence is you go, okay, that really scares me, and I'm really afraid to do that. All right, well, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it afraid. I'm going to do it scared. Maybe I'm going to just screw it up totally. Yeah, good. You're not supposed to. Don't let your perfectionism and fear of failure start to creep in on you. Do not allow that to happen, because you have got to understand that, especially when you start something, you're not going to be all that great at it. You might actually really suck at it. You might just totally not just, ooh, gosh, that was scary. Good. You get up and you do it again. Ooh, I didn't like that. Okay, well, then you're never going to have confidence. You don't get to do that one time, have a bad moment, and then all of a sudden go, okay, God, I got to wait until I'm ready for that. You're never going to be ready. You're never going to be ready. So this is what I want you to do. I want you to get a piece of paper. Pause this, pause this, pause this. Save this, pause this, share this with somebody. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Do all of that stuff just so you can come back and you can have this, right? And share with somebody who you think needs it. I want you to get a piece of paper. So pause this, go get paper and pen. And I want you to write down the things that you really want to get better at. It doesn't have to be a hobby. It could be communication. It could be your job. It doesn't matter. I just want you to write it down in no specific order and keep this on pause or exit and come back. It might take you 4 days to do this. Okay, but pause. Okay, come back. Now you're here again. And then what I want you to do with that is say, okay, what is your fear behind this? And so maybe your fear is I'm going to fail. So what? Okay. Doesn't matter. Write it down. I'm afraid that it's going to hurt. Okay, well, maybe this. But you know what? If you're going to, what you're going to see is you're going to see a lot of it has to do with control. So I want you to take that list, and then I want you to go beside that list, and I want you to write down what your fears are. Okay? Take your time with this. So again, if you need to pause, come back, that's cool. Then when you come back here, what I want you to do is I want you to look at those fears and take those, because now we're going to the why beneath the why. And now I want you to take those fears and say, what is 1, 2, or maybe 3 of my roots there? Maybe it's fear of failure. Maybe it's low self-esteem. Okay. What this does is it gives you a place to focus, and how you get through whatever that is, control, low self-esteem, low whatever, fear of rejection, doesn't matter. That's what you face. That's called exposure. ERP, exposure response. If you are not willing to go into that without having the confidence, you're never going to gain the confidence to do the things. Stop trying to look for a YouTube video, a podcast, a short form, a book, a whatever, and think that it's going to give you the self-confidence to go do those scary things. It's not going to happen. You keep looking for a fast fix. There's no workaround to this. There are no shortcuts to gaining self-confidence other than doing what it is that you need to work on to be confident about. I mean, that's just how it goes. You don't have to love it, but stop going into that headspace to give yourself, because it goes into an excuse now. Well, but I don't know how. Good. I'm glad you don't know how. Figure it out. Let's go figure it out. We are in a world of so much abundance, actually too much in many ways. You're in a world of so much abundance on the information. Yeah, some is not great. You never Google health symptoms, but you can Google like resources for some things. Just don't go too far with that research, because then you'll start scrolling out. And you'll think a lot of times that when you go on, like say Google or something like that, you'll think that you're looking for a solution. And often, because your brain, you're not really looking for the solution. You're looking for the worst case scenario. So let's pretend you Googled, let's say you were afraid of driving on the highway, and you Googled, okay, fear of driving on the highway. Okay. And maybe it was like, okay, this is the reason why. Cool. That's great. That's helpful. But then you start Googling, and now you start seeing people go, oh yeah, I'm not driving on the highway again because this guy cut me off, or I almost ran into a car. Well, that's what you're going to hold on to. You're not going to hold on to everything else. You're going to hold on to somebody else's experience, because that's that personalization bias. And then that contributes to your belief system. And now in your mind, you've given yourself an excuse and a reason why, you know what? I ain't ready for that yet. Stop Googling to find the negative, because you're not really Googling to find the positive. Because if you were, you would be looking for solutions and not problem solving. And not refusing to have problem solving. You'd be looking for the solution versus the problem and not solving that problem. And that's why sometimes you just got to take the risk. I always tell my clients, I have clients all over the world. You want to be a client? You know how to find me. Okay. I have clients all over the planet, and no matter where you are, I'm going to give you the same guidance. Is do it scared, do it frequently, get up and do it again. The moment you tell yourself that you have those fears, that's where you break out the 5 journals. I have a 5 journal series here on my YouTube. You break out those 5 journals and you write in them. You write in the negative journal. You write in these fears. But I'm telling you, you are capable. I said this before. You're a human. You can do hard things. Humans can do hard things. But you got to allow yourself the ability to do the hard things. Okay. And the more you think that you need to prepare, the less prepared you're going to be. Because once again, in your preparation, you're going to be looking at what the negative parts of that are. And that's what you're going to hold on to. So with that list of the things, go back to that list. With the list of the things that you said that you wanted to do. Now, I don't really care about what the fears are, right? Because we already understand. We're looking at a root. Now we know the wounds that you still need to heal. Very helpful. I want you to go back and I want you to say, take 2 things that are doable, right? Maybe it doesn't cost a lot of money, but that you really want to do that are pretty much at your disposal, at your fingertips. And then I want you to do a SMART plan. Go to my podcast, or it's on here too, is go to SMART goals, SMART goals, go to micro goals, set that and set a time bound. Okay. And not 5 months down the road. You know what? By Friday, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do the research to know how to do yada, yada, yada. Okay. Monday, what are you going to do? You need a time bound thing, because if not, you're left to your own brain and you're going to create so many reasons why you can't do something and what your past experiences are. I don't care what your past experiences are. You're going to get up and you have more tools now and more education now, and you're going to do it. And as you do that, I promise you, you will start to gain that self-confidence, and you won't even realize that you're doing it, because you're going to be like, yeah, okay, I'm just going to go do that. I don't really want to do it, but I'm going to do it. Okay. Self-confidence. Showing up for yourself creates self-confidence. Keeping promises to yourself creates self-confidence. When you're willing to make a promise to yourself and keep it, that is the biggest way of creating self-confidence. And nobody can take that from you. And you can't wait on other people. Don't create the, well, I need this. And well, now we're into procrastination. Now it's going to be overwhelmed. And that's what we want to just say, okay, I see it. I acknowledge it. Let's journal on it. I don't really care what my mind is telling me. My mind is often lying to me, and I'm going to do it anyway. Take a Nike logo, stick it all over everything, just do it. And that, my loves, is exactly how you gain self-confidence. Doing the hard things, doing it scared, doing it frequently. And the more you do it, the easier it gets. And the easier it gets, the more confidence that you have. And then you can go to the next thing, because you can accomplish way more and you're way more in control than you give yourself credit for.